Hello students, welcome you all in third lecture of chapter 13 class 10th magnetic effect of electric current. So now in this lecture we are going to discuss magnetic force on a conductor placed in a magnetic field. It means we have a conductor and that conductor is placed in a magnetic field, but at the same time that conductor is also having electric current passing through it. Okay, so till now I just recall all the things we discussed about which type of pattern of magnetic field we are getting due to a straight wire, due to a circular loop, what is a solenoid, what is an electromagnets, and all those things. If you have any doubt about that, you can ask to me on this, but only WhatsApp. Okay. So here we have, this is our clamp stand. This is our clamp stand, as you have in your chemistry lab, like that. Yes. And here we have, this is our conductor. It may be of anything, it may be of soft iron core, anything. It is a conductor, and that conductor is wounded, helically wounded by a current carrying wire. So this arrangement of wounding of helical this wounding of current carrying helical wire, this is called solenoid, and this conductor is then behave as a electromagnet. I think you know it very well. In last lecture we are discussing solenoid, that whenever we are giving electric current to a wire, that it gives us a magnetic field, but inside those circular coils we have a uniform magnetic field. Inside those circular helical coils we have uniform magnetic field, and due to that this conductor behave as a magnet. And now if I place a horseshoe shaped magnet, what is this? Horseshoe shaped magnet around this conductor, then we have two magnetic fields, beta. Suppose, okay, this is our north pole and this is our south pole. This is our, let me write over here, N, and this is our south pole. Okay, so direction of magnetic field is from north to south. From north to south. Okay, and in this wire we have direction of current like this, positive to negative. This is the direction of current from positive to negative. Okay, so due to this current it will develop a magnetic field. So initially, in a very simple language, we can say that here we have two types of magnetic field. First, because of that wire having current, and second, because of this horseshoe shaped magnet. Let me check the frame. Yeah, it's clear. So this is our horseshoe shaped magnet, this one, and this is our conductor which is helically wound with the wire, now behave as a magnet. So now we have two magnets, and so either they repel or they attract each other. But the thing is, a current carrying rod experience a force. Yes, definitely that experience and force, and that force is magnetic force. That force is magnetic force. Perpendicular. Yes, this is the point. Perpendicular to its length. And magnetic field. It means, suppose this north to south is in x-axis. Okay, and this current, this along its length and magnetic field. Okay, this is along x-axis and this is along y-axis. This conductor is along y-axis, for example, and this magnet which is having magnetic field in x-axis direction. So the force acting on the conductor is along z direction, perpendicular to its length and magnetic field. Perpendicular to its length and magnetic field. So for this type of, for this particular case, if the question asks, give us the direction of magnetic field, or give us the direction of current, or give us the direction of force which is acting on this conductor, that can be calculated by a very simple formula, that is Fleming left hand rule. Fleming left hand rule. We have to put our thumb, our first finger and our middle finger in such a way that all the three, look, all the three are perpendicular to each other. Suppose this is x direction, this is y direction, and this is z direction. I repeat, x, y, and this is z. Okay, so all the three must be perpendicular. Remember one thing, you must be align them like this, not like this. This is wrong. This is wrong arrangement. You must align them in such a way that thumb, first finger and middle finger, and they are mutually perpendicular to each other. And this is the standard way, this is the proper way, this is the right way how you have to align them. Okay, so I repeat the things, beta. Whenever we are giving current, okay, what is this arrangement? What is, okay, let me use this. What is this arrangement? What is this arrangement? This arrangement is our solenoid, and this conductor is behave as an electromagnet. Is it clear? This arrangement is our solenoid. Solenoid, what is solenoid? When helical wound wires, helical wound current carrying wires on a conductor, that is a solenoid, and that particular conductor behave as a electromagnet. Why? Because inside those helical wires we have uniform magnetic field, and that will cause, due to that reason, our inside conductor, the conductor inside the solenoid, shows us the property of magnetism or behave as a magnet. So we have magnet number 1, that is a conductor. Magnet number 2, horseshoe shaped magnet. So obviously it's very easy, it's very well known to us that whenever two magnets are placed close to each other, so either they attract or they repel. So that magnetic force may be attractive or may be repulsive is x in a direction perpendicular to the length of the conductor and perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. And to find out that direction, we are going to use Fleming left hand rule. So you just write it. In this rule, we have to stretch our first finger, middle finger and thumb in such a way so that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now you have to remember a hint, a clue, or you can say a simple logic to learn this, that is father, mother, child. Okay, thumb, first finger, middle finger. Okay, thumb, father, first finger, mother, and this is child. So we can take F, M and C. Okay, F stands for direction of force. F stands for direction of force. Any problem? No, it's fine. So F stands for direction of force. Which force? Which is magnetic force. Maybe in this direction, maybe in this direction. Magnetic force. First finger, mother. Direction of magnetic field. These all F, M and C, they are represent direction. They are represent direction. Direction of force, direction of magnetic field and direction of current. I repeat, direction of force, magnetic force, yes, direction of magnetic field and direction of current. Direction of current. So like this. Okay, let's take an example. Okay, we can discuss this rule briefly in our next topic, that is electric motor. It's very useful topic, or you can say very important topic as per your exam point of view. We are going to use it over there. So I repeat all the things. In this case, what happens? We are giving electric current to a conductor, or you can say we are helically wound a conductor, and that conductor will behave as a magnet. Already we have a magnet placed over here, and due to two magnets, either they attract or they repel. So they are experience a magnetic force, but direction of magnetic force is perpendicular to the length of conductor and to the magnetic field. 2 points. These are the importance. Length of conductor and direction of magnetic field. These direction of force are perpendicular to these two. Okay. Now Fleming left hand rule. It's a hint. It's a clue. Father, mother, and child. Or you can say we have to align our thumb, first finger, and middle finger in such a way so that they are mutually perpendicular to each other, and we are get to know that which direction. In which direction we are getting force, in which direction we are getting magnetic field, and in which direction we are getting current. Okay, either two of them is given to you, and third you need to find out. Means it's a question for you, like in x direction we have direction of current, in y direction we have magnetic field. Obviously in z direction we have direction of magnetic force. Okay. So let me erase this and move to next topic, that is electric motor. Note it down. Okay. Electric motor. I think it's very well known to you that electric motor is very much important in our day-to-day life, or you can say even we can't survive without electric motor. Fan, in very simple words you can say everything which we are using in our day-to-day life is directly or indirectly is in contact with the electric motor, is responsible or is depend on electric motor. Everything, because it's a, you can say, machine yug, and it is not possible without electric motor. We are using electric motor in so many purposes. So it's uncountable. Okay. So I think you can do this uses of electric motor. It's very easy to use. Even you can count 10 to 20 examples at your home: AC, cooler, fan, motor used for the water, and so many things. So it's up to you that you can found the places where we are using electric motor. And let's discuss electric motor, its principle, construction, working, and all those things. So we are going to start initially. What is electric motor? So electric motor is a device which uses electrical energy and gives us mechanical energy. So it is a device, electric motor is a device which intake, you can say, which intake electrical energy. Intake means lena, which intake electrical energy and gives mechanical energy. I repeat, it intakes electrical energy and gives mechanical energy. This is about electric motor, which is a device. Now the things inside the magnet or construction of a magnet. So what are the components? You can say components or construction. So we are going to found first armature. What is armature? Armature is a coiling of wire. It may be of copper or it may be of anything else, any conducting wire basically, which is, and these are wound on a conducting body like this beta. Here we have such type of armature, This is our armature. I'm just drawing for your simplicity a single loop, but here we have n number of loops. Here we have n number of loops, and this is a current carrying wire from A, B, C, D. This is a current carrying wire from A, B, C, D, and this wire is wounded over a conducting body. This wire ABCD is wounded over a conducting body, and that conducting body is behave as a magnet. You know it very well because that conducting body is become a electromagnet. We discussed the same in our solenoid part. So this is known as our armature. Next we have a permanent magnet over here. Permanent magnet. Over here, this is our north pole and this is our south pole. The question maybe arises in your mind, sir, in very first lecture you are saying that magnet never exists in monopole, but now you develop this is north pole and this is south pole. Actually beta, the thing is we are just showing an upper view of our electric motor. Suppose this is a motor, so I am showing motor from this point of view. From this point, like this is our motor. So obviously it's north and it's south, but actually it's a circular shaped magnet inside the electric motor basically. Okay, so that's why I'm drawing this is north and this is south, because now from this view it's clearly visible which one is north and which one is south. Okay, so this is the reason. This is permanent magnet we have. And next, third thing, we need axle. Let me write all the things. Axle, brushes, yes, not toothbrushes, okay, brushes, and source like battery or cell, and brush, axle, permanent magnet, armature, source. I think axle is done. Okay, source, brush, axle, क्या रहेगा? Yes, split ring. Important point. Next important thing is split ring. Very important. Or it is also known as commutator. Okay. So let me introduce you all. This is our armature. Armature means a conducting body wounded with a helical current carrying coil. Just for simplicity, I am drawing a single coil ABCD. This is our permanent magnet. Okay, and now this is, let me little bit draw the diagram so that it's easy for you to understand. Okay, so this is our axle. This is our axle. Okay, and this axle is connected with a split ring. This axle is connected with a split ring. Okay, and this split ring is connected with a brush. Similarly over here we have split ring. Here we have split ring, and this split ring is connected with the brush. Okay, यहाँ थोड़ा बड़ा बन गया है, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. Here this is our brush. Okay, and this is our split ring. And what is this? Connecting wire, because they are used for making connection. Connecting wire, and this is our armature, and this is our permanent magnet. Let me check the frame. Everything is visible to you? Yeah. So I repeat, this is our permanent magnet, north and south. This is our armature. This rod is our axle, and axle is connected with the split rings, and split ring is connected with brush, and brush is connected with connecting wires, and similarly brush is also connected with the source. Brush is also connected with the source, and this source will provide electrical energy, because we are giving electrical energy and we are taking mechanical energy. This is the principle, you can say, intake electrical energy and gives us mechanical energy. So these are the components for construction: armature, permanent magnet, axle, brush, source like battery or cell, and then last one is split ring. It's very important, commutator, right? So very much important in this. So let note it down and let's move to the next. Okay, and one more thing, in I think last year the question is asked, which components or what are the difference between normal electric motor and commercial electric motor? What is the difference between normal electric motor and commercial electric motor? Obviously, the name specifies the commercial motor means that motor which are used for large RPM, rotation per minute, or which is used to get a very large amount of mechanical energy, or you can say which is intaking a very large amount of electrical energy. And for that a little bit change is found in this scenario. Here we are using electromagnet. Here we are using electromagnet instead of permanent magnet. Here we are using electromagnet instead of permanent magnet. Where? In commercial motor. Where? In commercial motor. Because at that place we need a very strong magnetic field. So that's why we are using electromagnet. Or we can increase, we can also armature. Yes. What are the changes in armature for commercial? Number of turns will be increases for commercial motor. Okay. And one more change which can be done for armature, we can use soft iron core. Why we are using soft iron core? Because soft iron is easily magnetized or become strong magnetized whenever placed in magnetic field. Okay, very quickly magnetized, very strongly magnetized, and remains for a long period of time, remains magnetized even if we close the circuit. It means even if we are not supplying electric current to it, still it behave like a magnet for a few intervals of time. So that's why we are using soft iron core at commercial purposes. Or it's, you can say in simple words, that it's quite easy to make it magnetized for soft iron core. So what are the changes? We can use an armature having large number of turns, and we can use we can replace conducting body with soft iron core. We can use electromagnet for commercial purposes. Note it down so that I just erase all the things. Okay, next beta, working. Next is working. Working of electric motor. Let me read through the diagram. Working of electric motor. Working. So, in this, here we have a magnet, north and south pole. What is this? Armature A, B, C, D. Armature. Okay. And this armature is, this is our axle, 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 and this is connected with split rings. This is connected with split rings, and these split rings are, you can make it like this. These split rings are over here. Directly you can connect these split rings with the connecting wires, and here we have brushes. This is our brushes. Okay, and these brushes are connected with the source. Okay, so what happens in this? Obviously, when we switch on the circuit or when we close the circuit, current will pass through the armature. Current will pass through the armature, and obviously armature means current carrying coil, and then inside the current carrying coil we have a conducting body, and that conducting body behave as a magnet, as we discussed in our previous topic. This magnet and this is also a magnet, so we either they attract or they repel. It means there is some magnetic force experienced by the conductor, So for that we are taking, this is the direction of magnetic field from north to south. Okay, and we know the direction of current just because of this positive sign, A to B, direction of current. Now which rule we have to use? Fleming left hand rule. Fleming left hand rule, father, mother, child. Direction of magnetic force, direction of magnetic field, direction of current. Okay, so our this finger which represent the direction of current, so we just point it in the direction of current. Okay, direction of current is this, direction of magnetic field is this. So where is my thumb? Inward. Where is my thumb? Inward. I repeat, just point your middle finger in the direction of current. Point your first finger in the direction of magnetic field. Now thumb, which is already perpendicular to these two, and it gives us the direction of force. So the force will be inward. It means this AB will move in inward direction. Similarly, what is the direction of current for CD? Direction of current for CD is this, C to D. Downward. Magnetic field remains in the same direction. Again we are going to use our Fleming left hand rule. Direction of magnetic field, but this time direction of current is downward. C to D. Direction of current is downward. So direction of magnetic force will be outward. Okay. So like this. So okay, let me take an example. Suppose I have this notebook with me, and this notebook A, B, this is C and D. This AB is moving inward and CD is moving outward. So, and this is the center, this is the axle, okay, which arrange all the things. So, like this, it will rotate. The same thing we get. So, whenever so now what is the conclusion? What happens actually? Let me read on the same thing with the different situations. Again, this is north, this is south, and this is our armature, this is our axle. Here I have split ring, and these split rings are attached with the carbon brushes. Yes, they are made up of carbon. Okay, and this is our cell. Okay, let's check the name. This AB. Now this AB is over here. Let me check the frame. Yeah, it's fine. So this is AB, and what is this? BC. AB will goes to that side after half rotation. This picture is before half rotation. This picture is after half rotation. So after half rotation, this AB will move that side, CD will come this side, CD. And now what is here? This is S1, first split ring. This is S2, second split ring. This is brush B1 and this is brush B2. Okay. Now brush 1 is at the same place. Brush B2 is at the same place. But split ring which is connect with the wire. The split ring which is connect with the wire is reaches to that point. So this is our S1 and this is our S2. The position of split rings will change. The position of split ring. Look at carefully, beta. The position S1 is now oppositely. Correct? Initially S1 is connected with V1 and here S1 is connected with B2. Here S2 is connected with B2 and S2 is connected with B1. So their polarity will change. Their polarity will change. They reverse. Now B1, which is connecting earlier with positive terminal, now B1 which is connected with positive terminal, it gives S2 this direction of current like this. Now just one more difference you can see very easily. The CD is having upward direction of current. Now CD is having earlier downward direction of current. Similarly BC is having downward direction of current, but earlier AB is having upward direction of current. So direction of current will change. Now again we are using the same rule, Fleming Left-hand rule. Direction of current upward, direction of magnetic field north to south. North to south. Direction of current, direction of magnetic field and direction of force. So CD is moved inward this time. Okay, and AB is moved outward this time. It means the direction will reverse. In direction will reverse. This is AB, A, B, C, D. Initially AB is moving inward and CD is moving outward. AB inward, CD outward. Now CD moves inward, and AB moves outward. So it makes a complete one rotation. Similarly, the same things going on. Again, the B1 is connected with S1 after one complete rotation, and B2 is connected with S2 after one complete rotation, and this process going on, and so we get mechanical energy. So the key point is the main thing in this arrangement, that is commutator, this split ring. Commutator, or you can say the split ring, which is a very important thing in this arrangement, split ring. What happens? This split ring will change the polarity. Initially split ring is connected to B1 and then split ring is connected to B2. The polarity will change, direction of current will change, and it will help to make our motor will rotate. Okay. So anything else if you want to ask, you can ask over this. Okay, and read it clearly, carefully. Any doubt you can ask at this number, only WhatsApp. Thank you so much.